So if you give 10,000, don't expect 10,000 back. It's going to be about 2.
It's not
so,
dollar for dollar.
Right. Do it because it feels good, and the tax deduction is just a kicker.
Hey guys, Ray and Andrew here. Today we're going to talk about itemized deductions. Ray, what can you tell us about itemized tax deductions?
So itemized deductions, whenever you do your 1040 tax return, you're either going to take a standard deduction or you're going to take itemized deductions, right? Here with recent legislation, the standard deduction is really high, so a lot of people aren't itemizing anymore. But for those who do itemize, I kind of want to go over what the major itemized deductions are and what form they're on. So they are filed on what's called a Schedule A, right? Itemized deductions. And there's basically 4 major categories. Now understand, for today's purposes, I'm just kind of going to hit the high points of what I think 95% of taxpayers utilize the Schedule A for. There are some minute things on there that you can look into that doesn't apply to the majority of folks. I'm just going to hit these 4 items kind of at a high level just to give you a basic understanding of what the Schedule A is. Right, so your first tax deduction on the Schedule A is medical expenses, right? And that's where you can deduct your medical insurance premiums, your dental insurance premiums, your medical expenses. And when I say medical expenses, we're talking about cosmetic surgery things. So it can't be something like cosmetic surgery, right? There's a whole list of them. If we go to the IRS pub, you can find all those.
Yeah, you pretty much have to be like doctor prescribed.
They do, right? And so with the medical deduction, it's actually a pretty difficult deduction to get for most people because there's an AGI limitation that you have to hit first. And it's usually 7.5%. Sometimes that changes based on the legislation, but right now it's 7.5%. So let's say your adjusted gross income is $100,000. Well, your 7.5% of your AGI is going to be $7,500. Well, your medical expenses, that first $7,500 of medical expenses, you can't even deduct. Only thing that you're going to be able to deduct is once you exceed that $7,500. So it's usually a pretty difficult deduction for some people to obtain. But it still is there, so make sure you keep track of your medical expenses and give those to your preparer. The next category is state income and real estate taxes, which based on recent legislation, they've kind of trimmed that back a little bit as well. It used to be a really big deduction, especially for high income earners, but now we're limited to $10,000. And what that category includes is your state income taxes, your real estate taxes paid, your personal property taxes paid on your boats and cars, things like that. Always make sure you provide all those things to your preparer. Like I said, you're maxed at $10,000, so it is kind of, that legislation kind of hurt some of our high income folks, but it's still a good deduction to get. After state income tax deduction, you got your mortgage interest deduction, right? And now you're able to deduct the mortgage interest on up to 2 residences, a primary and a second. Now there are some limitations that surround the mortgage interest deduction. One is you can't take it, so let's say you have a mortgage of $750,000, you can only take the interest up to that $750,000. So if you have two homes and they both come up to $750,000, then you can deduct all of the interest. But once you start exceeding that $750,000, you have to start paring back your mortgage interest deduction. There's a calculation that has to be done, but your tax preparer should be well aware of that calculation. But if you make sure and tell your preparer, so let's say you have a $1 million mortgage, make sure you let them know so that way they can do that calculation. There are some grandfather clauses for loans that were in place prior to the legislation and things like that. So that's basically your mortgage interest deduction, which is usually a really good deduction for most folks.
Yeah, that deduction was really revamped in 2017 with President Trump's Tax Cut and Jobs Act. So
Absolutely.
Beginning 2018.
Yeah, so then your next big category of deductions on the Schedule A are your charitable contribution deductions. Now this is money that you give to a local charity, any mileage you drive for a local charity, any property that you donate to a local charity. The advice I give to clients is to make sure you go over the IRS rules as far as documenting those charitable contributions to ensure that you receive the deduction. We see a lot of audits that surround the charitable deduction because it's an opportunity for clients to kind of make up their own tax deduction. So make sure you have all the proper documentation that the IRS would want to see before you claim that deduction. And also tell people, give because it feels good and because you want to help that charitable organization. The tax deduction is just kind of a bonus. It's a kicker, right? So I literally get some clients, they think that if they donate $10,000, then it's a $10,000 reduction in their taxes. It's not, right? You donate $10,000. If you're a 20% tax rate, then you're going to get a $2,000 reduction in taxes. So if you give $10,000, don't expect $10,000 back. It's going to be about $2,000.
It's not dollar for dollar.
Right. Do it because it feels good, and the tax deduction is just a kicker.
Yeah.
So that's basically, in summary, of what the Schedule A itemized deductions are. Like I said, there's a bunch of nuances to this thing, and there's some other smaller ones as well. But as far as like for the 98% of taxpayers out there,
Most people hit those 4.
That's a pretty good explanation of what the Schedule A itemized deductions are.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you going through that with us. That is itemized deductions explained by Ray Halstead. If you liked this video, please keep a lookout for more videos. We put these out weekly, so subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification button. Thanks.